We're now starting off with our HackerRank product showcase. And first up, we have Aditi, a visionary principal product manager at HackerRank, who's been working on skills strategy. Welcome, Aditi.
Only if I was as visionary as you, Ada. Hi, I'm Aditi, a product manager at HackerRank. Today, every company is a skills-first company. The way they hire, develop, upskill are all rooted in a deep understanding of the skills required to achieve their objectives. In a world where skills and technologies are constantly evolving, and AI is set to change how things are done, how do you effectively set up a skill strategy? Let's find out. There are many roles in the software development industry that are involved in developing the apps you and I use today. And all of them have evolved significantly over the last few decades. Let's look at one such role in particular, the data analyst. Data analysts do visualization, reporting, data extraction, data cleaning, and statistical modeling. They do this using COBOL, Lotus, and SPSS. Now you may be wondering, what is she talking about? Yes, they did this in the 80s. They continue to do similar things in the 90s. They used Excel, Sybase, and SQL. Things evolved a little bit more in the 2000s. While what they did stayed the same, the how they did evolved to MySQL and Informatica. Again, things evolved a little bit more in the 2010s. The what stayed the same, the how changed. And today, with AI, while what they have done has stayed the same, the how is changed to Copilot and other AI technologies. The what has stayed consistent, but the how has evolved. Whenever we think about skills, we refer to these technologies or how we do things. Our skills taxonomy reflects this well. We have a job family, which is data science and analytics, a role, which is the data analyst, and the skills required to do that role. As you can see, we have the how or the skills, but the what is missing. That's why we plan to introduce a new construct called capabilities, which reflects the what. As you saw from my presentation, capabilities have a longer shelf life. Now, what does this mean for you? We plan to introduce capabilities in the artifacts we're building, like assessments and certifications, to give you a holistic view of the developer. For example, it's one thing to understand someone's SQL proficiency. It's another thing to understand how well they can do data extraction. It's one thing to understand someone's R proficiency. It's another thing to understand how well they know statistical modeling. We plan to introduce capabilities across all our products very soon to enable you to set up an effective skill strategy in the AI-first world. Thank you. Over to you, Ada.
Thanks, Aditi. That was wonderful. Now let's take a moment to talk about developer jobs. They have changed a lot. Earlier, me and my companions, like Alan Turing and Isaac Newton, had no other option but to work for the government. Now we can pick from a lot of really wonderful tech companies. Abhilash, you've turned organizations into top developer career destinations with HackerRank Engage. Can you tell us more about it?
Thank you, Ada. Hi everyone, I'm Abhilash. I lead the efforts for Engage at HackerRank. You heard from Ada. Some of the things that developers really care about are the problems that the companies work on, the tech stack they use to solve these problems, and of course, compensation. Unfortunately, the job descriptions and the engagement tools that are used today do a really poor job of showcasing these. That's where HackerRank Engage comes in. HackerRank Engage is a virtual hackathon platform that will help you engage with and nurture developers. Let's see how it works. Let's imagine that I work at Tesla and I'm using Engage to run a coding challenge. And this is where I start. is asking me for the theme of my event. And because I work in the automobile industry, I'll say something like innovation in the automobile industry as my theme. Next, it is asking me for my target audience. Because I'm planning to hire folks who are early on in their careers, I'm going to say developers with 0 to 3 years of experience. Next, it is asking me for my goal, and I'm going to say hiring because I want to hire them. Next, I want individuals to participate, so I'm going to select my participation type as individual. Finally, the brand tone. Interesting. We are Tesla. Let's go with enthusiastic. And I'm going to click on generate event. Let's see what happens now. All right. This is where the Engage AI Copilot takes over and starts generating all the artifacts for the event, starting from the microsite, the email campaigns and challenges. On the right, you can see that it has already started generating the event details, which is where you can mention the rules of your event, the prizes you're going to give away. The About Company section is where you can actually showcase your tech brand. Add links to your tech blog, links to any videos that you think will showcase why you're the tech company to work for. And finally, the testimonial section where your employees can tell candidates why they need to be part of your company. Next, challenges are going to be real world challenges that are going to be mapped to your industry theme. And finally, the email campaigns. Email campaigns are again going to be tagged to your event theme, and you can use them to continuously engage with candidates up until the day of the event. Of course, all of this is just a start. You can customize all of these artifacts as per your liking. You can start by publishing your microsite on various avenues to get candidates for your event. We also recommend that you connect with your ATS and CRMs through the CSV upload capability to bring in your own candidates onto Engage. In the future, we're also going to have native integrations in place. Once you have candidates in your funnel, the next obvious step is to engage with them. Make use of our campaigns capability to keep your candidates warm. These engaged candidates are going to turn up on the day of the event, the details of which can be seen on the Engage homepage or the Engage overview page. The data can be sliced and diced across different dimensions like gender, work experience, and country. You can also see the end-to-end funnel of candidates starting from how many registered up until how many turned up on the day of the event. You must all be thinking, Abhilash, come on, all of this is just a demo, right? Well, it is not. I'm happy to tell you that we've worked with some incredible partners who have made Engage a better product today. I would like to thank NVIDIA, Adobe, ServiceNow, and Equinix for being great partners in making Engage what it is today. With that, it's a wrap for HackerRank Engage.
That doesn't seem right. Seems like you're forgetting something, Abhilash.
Oh, I almost forgot. Thank you, Ada. Now we know why AI copilots are really helpful. Of course, there's one more thing. We're going to be publishing your event on HackerRank community, a 24 million strong developer community, so that you can build the top of the funnel for your event. Now, isn't that a great way to showcase your tech brand in front of developers? I'm sure it is. I'm super excited to be launching Engage today, and I hope to see many more hackathons on Engage in the future. I'll see you all then. Back to you, Ada.
Thanks, Abhilash. It was amazing to see that AI can be so powerful when it comes to creating a strong tech brand. But this wasn't the case in the 18th century. I really had to struggle to find jobs. So, to know more about how developers prep, apply, and interview for jobs today, I went to social media. And here's some things I found. Is this what developers do all day? apply to multiple jobs, create hundreds of resumes and cover letters, and try to improve their coding skills on pen and paper? Aditi, I know you're an expert leading product for the HackerRank community, and you're the best person to tell us what's really going on.
Hey everyone, I'm Aditi, a product manager at HackerRank. And what Ada has just described to you all is a typical day in the life of a developer in the job market. Resumes, cover letters, countless messages to recruiters, practicing coding problems. There's a lot that a developer has to do and go through in order to land a job. So at HackerRank, we've decided to ease this process dramatically. But before we dive into how, here's a quick primer on what the HackerRank community is. It's a place where millions of developers come to learn and practice programming, participate in hackathons and fun coding contests, and find and apply for jobs. Over the past few months, we've gone ahead and spoken to these developers, we've heard them out, and based on what we've learned, we're refreshing their experience on the product, leveraging the power of AI. To start with, we've simplified the onboarding so that when a developer lands on HackerRank for the first time, we only ask them the most important questions, like what job roles they're looking for, which industries excite them, where they would prefer to work, and for their resume. Using this, we're able to come up with a personalized dashboard that a developer sees as soon as they complete their onboarding. This dashboard consists of a list of jobs that we've curated based on their preferences and a step-by-step plan that we recommend they follow to land these jobs. Now, this plan consists of steps like taking a mock interview, earning a role certification, and taking part in a hackathon, among other things. Now, to help the developer prepare for a typical developer hiring process, we recommend that they take a mock assessment and a mock interview. In order to simulate a real technical coding environment, we've built an AI-powered bot to interact with you, present you with a coding problem, and test you on things like code complexity, just like a real interviewer would. I'm sure you'd like to see it in action, so how about we take a mock interview right now? So, as we can see over here, we've landed in a coding environment with an IDE on my right and a chat interface with a mock interviewer on my left. The bot has introduced itself as my interviewer for the day, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm feeling pretty nervous, but ready to get started. Awesome. So now the bot has told me how I should go about approaching this problem. Let's go ahead and ask for the problem statement. So, from what I can understand so far, Alice and Bob are two problem setters. There are two arrays that consist of the ratings that reviewers have given to their problems. All I need to do is go ahead and compare the value of these ratings and assign variables to each and return the sum at the end of the function. I have an idea of how I'm going to do this, so let me go ahead and get my pseudocode validated by the interviewer. And assign two variables to hold the sum. I will use an if-else to get the values for this and use a sum function to return the result. Great. So now the interviewer has validated my approach. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the coding part of things. Now, I've speedrun through this process, but here's some code that I've come up with for this problem in Python. I would like to test it against some custom input, so I'm going to go ahead and take the bot's help here. Can you give me some test cases? So, not only has the bot given me a bunch of inputs to try out, but has also told me the expected outputs for each. Let's go ahead and try one of these. 12, 11, 10. Awesome. As we can see, the compilation is successful and my code is run. Now, I would like to bring the interview to an end, so let me get some feedback. Can you give me some feedback? As we can see over here, the bot is not only giving me some general subjective feedback to improve, but is also giving me pointers on code quality, technical communication, and language proficiency skills, so I can go ahead and improve on these objectively before my next mock interview or even my next real technical interview. Now, the next natural step after completing a mock interview and maybe a few practice coding challenges is to build your profile. One way that a developer can do this is by earning a HackerRank role certification. This role certification is an asset that shows to the world that they've got what it takes to excel in that role. Another way of doing this, of course, is by taking part in a hackathon or a coding contest. The next part of the plan brings us to the most crucial step of the entire job-seeking process, which is actually applying for jobs. To do so, we've built a Chrome extension called Quick Apply that helps developers autofill those long and tedious job application forms. We've also got a native job board that consists of job openings that we've scraped from the public web. In this, we've built a machine learning algorithm that shows how close of a fit a developer is to a particular job opening. Not just this, it also shows them improvements that they can make to their profile in order to land this job. With this, we're bringing the focus to what matters, the skills that a company needs and the skills that a developer on our platform has to offer to them. As a developer makes their way through this plan and completes each step in the checklist, they feel better prepared and more confident of their chances of landing the job of their dreams. Now, everything you've just seen here today is in limited availability. And if you're interested to be a part of this beta program, all you have to do is log into HackerRank and click on the notification in your dashboard. This is just the start of our vision to ease the entire job seeking and application process for developers. So stay tuned for more. Back to you, Ada.
Thanks, Aditi. As a woman who identifies as AI, it's super cool to see how millions of developers' lives are about to be changed by your use of AI and innovation. You go, girl! But I'm now interested to learn more about assessments, so I'm tapping into some expert advice for it. I've got Afzal, HackerRank's Director of Product Management, who's pioneering the next-gen hiring efforts at HackerRank. Just like the 18th century, do developers have to come prepared with sharpened pencils and paper? Or are sharp coding skills enough, Afzal?
The 21st century doesn't work like that, Ada, because now the stage is set differently. Hi everyone, I'm Afzal and I lead the next-gen hiring product. Before I talk about hiring process, let's review what developers do in your companies. They work on code repositories of your product, analyze new requirements, design systems for it, write code, test, deploy, and maintain this code over time. And pretty soon, they are going to orchestrate all of this using various AI agents. The interview process have always been a proxy for assessing how well developers do their jobs. The questions used in interviews have certainly evolved from how many golf balls fit in a Boeing 747 to asking them to write code for algorithms and micro apps. We asked ourselves, why should these tasks be proxy? Why can't they be same as what developers do? That's what we've been building in the next-gen product. Let's take a look. Let's imagine I'm David, a candidate who has applied to an e-commerce company, and I've been invited to a HackerRank assessment. Let me key in my credentials, accept terms and conditions, and log in. Alright, I'm in. Looks like I've been given access to a code repository of an e-commerce website, and the task here is to fix a bug that exists in product rating feature. Let me open the app and see if I can replicate this bug. I see the products listed here. Let me click on one of them and rate the product. As you can see, it allowed me to rate the product even when I had not purchased the product. I understand how this can impact the quality of product rating. I understand the bug now. Let me go ahead and solve this problem. This is great. HackerRank provides VS Code for the IDE. It's the same IDE that I use for coding. Let me check the files that have been given. Boy, this is a really big code repository. It's going to take a lot of time for me to make sense of it or find out where I should make this change. But wait, what's this icon? Wow, it's an AI code assistant and looks like I can ask questions about the code repository to this assistant. Let me ask, which file has submit rating logic in the front end, because that's what I'm good at, in this repository. Okay, it's giving me the general logic that I can follow to find the answer for that question. It has also taken a couple of guesses on what those files could be. I'm going to trust its judgment and search for one of those files. Let me search for product details.jsx and search for a keyword submit. I see the code now. It's only checking if the rating is blank. Let me modify this to also check if the product exists in the user's order history. Let's go ahead and test the bug now. Going back to home page, clicking on another product, and let me try rating the product. As you can see, it throws an error now. Now that I've fixed the bug, let me go ahead and submit this task. And raise a pull request for my changes just like I do while in my job. As I click on review, I can see the files that I've modified, and I can now leave a commit message for my change. Bug fix for the rating feature. With that, I'm done with my assessment. This is the typical workflow your developers use. Wouldn't you want your hiring process to look the same? Now you might ask, this is a great candidate experience, but what have you built for hiring managers? What happens next is HackerRank generates an AI summary of the candidate submission. It can evaluate for much more than correctness. For example, it can comment on the language proficiency observed, the approach that the candidate took, or even quality of code. And if you want to dive deep into the code, you can do that in the candidate report and leave comments just like you do while reviewing code in real world. In short, we are making the interview process indistinguishable from the real world.
I love it, Afzal. When can people get this? I want to apply to all the companies who sign up for this.
Thank you for the endorsement, Ada. It means a lot. We're in limited availability. If you would like to participate in the beta, write to HackerRank support or your account manager. Over to you, Ada.
Am I being Delulu, or this is actually Trululu? Afzal, this is cool. All the companies who signed up for limited availability ask for my contact details from my assistant, ChatGPT. Next up, we have VJ. He's the Director of Product Management at HackerRank, and he's here to talk about something special. Do you know the feeling when your manager assigns loads of coursework in the name of upskilling? Yeah, I feel that too. As an AI model, I process a lot of data, but these learning paths can even put me to sleep. I'd rather read all your insurance and 401k documents, including the terms and conditions, than going through this. But I know HackerRank customers use something cool. Tell us more about it, VJ.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vijay, and I lead the SkillUp product here at HackerRank. AI is changing the world of software development and is also changing how people learn. So how do you empower your organization to be Gen AI ready while also making learning fun, personalized, and real world? Let's dive in. Welcome Ada to SkillUp. Within SkillUp, Ada can pick from any role of her choice. We have badges for skills, certification for roles, and all of this can be showcased in a brag-worthy skill profile. But before we get there, let's ask Ada to judge her skills required for this role. I know we all think highly of ourselves, but it's always good to get an opinion. And while Ada self-rates, we set up a mastery roadmap for her. What you see is the target proficiency required for this role and where Ada is based on her rating. On the right, you see all the badges that Ada needs to earn and the certification she needs to master for this role. I see that one of the skills required for this role is Python. So let me actually go ahead and practice this assessment with all of you. In the practice assessment, I'm provided with a challenge. I've already written some code prior to the demo. Let me run some tests now. It looks like I have a compilation error. Let me actually ask the assistant for some help. Can you give me the answer? Oh man, the tutor bot is not giving me the answer. It is acting like a Socratic tutor. Now, let me ask the tutor bot to give me a way to debug the error. Can you tell me how to fix the error on line 21? Well, the tutor bot actually gives me the solution to solve my error. I go ahead and fix the error. What you've just seen is the assistant acting as a Socratic tutor and fostering critical thinking. Ada then earns the badge for Python. She continues to earn all the badges required for all the skills within the role. Ada earns the certification and is now ready to show it off to the world in her skill profile. What you've just seen is the developer experience. Now, let's switch to the employer experience. And for all the employers, we have some very powerful workforce insights that lets you know what's happening within your organization in terms of the number of certified employees and what's the progress on your upskilling initiatives. And we are just getting started. Today, we are launching SkillUp with 20 skill badges and 19 role certifications. And we'll continue to add more roles, skills, and AI to help your organization become Gen AI ready. Hopefully, this makes learning fun, personalized, and real world. I'm sure that'll make you happy, Ada. Back to you.
Wow, Vijay. Thanks! Now that I have a path to upskill in Python, I'll become the most supreme AI bot that ever existed. Watch out, all AI assistants. I'll soon be your master. The next section, which is about AI, is going to be hosted by a human. But it's only because my dates weren't available. I mean, there couldn't have been anyone else better than me to host this section. I am so beautiful. I put the model in the AI model. My name is so profound, the event name, AI Day, also has Ada in it. However, my human friend Shloka, a software developer at HackerRank, is an exceptional AI expert who's worked on creating products that have impacted millions of developers worldwide. Over to you, Shloka.
Thank you, Ada. Super excited for all the features we are building across the board. I'm Shloka, a software engineer at HackerRank, and I'm here today to talk about the deep research we do to embrace AI. The three main areas of focus for research include LLM benchmarking, a state-of-the-art plagiarism detection, and HackerRank's own model. LLMs have made a significant stride in the field of coding and software development. They are pervasive in our lives now. There are certain models like CodeLlama, GPT-4, Mistral that can be fine-tuned for tasks like coding. They have certainly enhanced developer productivity. But how do we know how effective they are? The effectiveness of these models is evaluated using Human Eval, an open source benchmarking dataset by OpenAI consisting of 164 programming questions. The model is run against these questions until it gets the right answer. Sometimes it may not be able to solve the problem at all. The industry standard metric to evaluate the benchmark is pass at K, which can be defined as the chances that at least one of the top K generated code sample solves the problem. So now if we consider K as 1, then pass at 1 means that the first generated code by the model solves the problem. The current model that is leading is GPT-4 with a pass at 1 of 67%. This means that the first generated code sample by GPT was able to solve 67% of the questions correctly. But we are slowly seeing other models catch up. Like CodeLlama has a pass at 1 of 48.8 with Mistral 7B at 30.5. Since we saw that these models are being evaluated against Human Eval for benchmarking, we went ahead and tried to benchmark them against our own internal library. We have seen that these LLMs are not quite as capable on our question library of coding challenges. This is how different models like GPT, CodeLlama, and Mistral perform. Not only this, we also show an AI solvable flag to make sure that the customer knows when a question can be answered by AI. But this got us thinking, why is Human Eval the only benchmarking dataset? The problem is, it is not very comprehensive. It consists of only 164 programming questions which are primarily focused on Python. And also, these problems are well known and simple. To solve this, we are working on a benchmarking dataset that encompasses real-world software development. We are leveraging our HackerRank community of 24 million developers to ensure that we have a diverse set of submissions across problems of varying difficulty levels and programming languages. We are working on this and will have some updates real soon. The next research area is plagiarism detection. We strive to make our platform fair for all the developers. Each company has their own level of restrictions, and we want to make sure that even when all these restrictions are turned on, it doesn't adversely affect the developer's performance and experience. Historically, in the assessment space, plagiarism has been just limited to code similarity. But at HackerRank, we have seen our plagiarism detection evolve from code similarity, where we used to compare candidates' code, to understanding the coding patterns like whether the candidate is making meaningful iterations, to now monitoring behavioral signals like external copy-paste. This is the state-of-the-art plagiarism detection right now, and we are working constantly to improve it on AI signals. And lastly, we have seen that models like GPT-4, which are at the forefront of technology, are still not able to perform to the level we need them to. As you saw in the demos before, as we integrate different AI assistants like a Socratic tutor, a helping mock interview bot, and a coding assistant, we do want to make sure that we get the right performance level. We are working with some of the best open source models and doing a combination of fine-tuning and prompt engineering to make sure that we are able to give our developers the right help they need. This is how we'll build our products in learning and assessment going forward. So, here's to a future where humans and AI collaborate together in coding and beyond. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone, and I'll pass on the stage back to Ada.
Thanks, Shloka. I don't know about other AI models, but I definitely want to collaborate with you.